Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
From Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. We hope you had a great week. It's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach, right? And today we have a newbie. We have someone who's never been on Beauty and the Beach Radio, and I'm super excited to introduce him because he's going to share some ways to beautify your life. You guys, and that's what we're all about, right? Is making things better and making our lives better. And he's going to do that. Super, super excited. He is a husband. He's a father. He's a pastor. And guys, his newest title, all right, are you ready? Is an author. That's right. He is a brand new author. He is described as passionate about life. I can totally relate to that. Believes that true fulfillment comes from living with purpose. Okay. He has a Master of Divinity degree, and Smarty Pants is acquiring a Master of Social Work degree. So please welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio for the first time, and first-time author, Peyton Minzenmeyer.
Yeah, thank you.
Did I do it?
Yeah, you did it. You hit it right on. Thank you so much for having me, Cindy. I'm excited.
Absolutely. You know what? I cannot wait to talk about your book. So this is your first book.
It is, yeah. And it is a long time coming. I've actually had the dream of writing a book since I was 10 years old.
No way.
I like to joke, I was Audible for my grandma in the car before it was ever a thing. I used to read this and I was like, one day I'm going to see my name on the spine of a book. And I just held on to that dream, and finally I get to live that out. Oh
my goodness. Well, so the title of your book, okay, is A Story on Purpose.
That's right.
Now, when we chatted, okay, before I started doing my homework, I thought it was a really interesting title. And come to find out, it truly is a story.
That's
now,
right.
It's a self-help, but it's also a story of a guy.
Yes.
So I love how you kind of merged kind of self-help and easy reading. Like, how did you come up with this concept?
Well, the concept came up with the demand, really. And the story on purpose is like written as a story on purpose, on the topic of purpose, because what I'm finding as a pastor, someone who counsels, is with people on a regular basis, there is an epidemic of people my age, younger, who feel like they're living a life that does not have purpose, does not have meaning, doesn't have direction. And I don't believe that's how, as a pastor, we've been designed. I think there are practical things that people can do to find help. But the problem is that a self-help book is often a way to sharpen a tool you already have.
Right.
And a lot of people who are missing purpose in their life don't even have a tool in their hand. And so I wanted to write something that was applicable, approachable, that they could immediately get their hands on, put themselves in the story, be in the mind of the main character, and be able to actually have principles and tools that they could use in their own life.
Okay, so let's get right to it. So purpose. Okay, so really, is it that important, Peyton? I mean, why can't we just go through life on autopilot, on cruise control? Like, why is purpose so important?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people live that way, where they're living their life on this floating, just this floating reality or hope that they'll find a meaning for what they're trying to do. And if that's in a work, if that's in relationship, and then those things fail them. And what they find is that they're just, like they said, they're floating. And what my illustration I like to tell people is, if you want to get to Disney World and you don't have a map of actually how to get there, then any road's going to get you there and no road's going to get you there quick. So you'll just be driving any direction. And so the moment you have a direction, you have a purpose, you know the general area you need to move, and all of the pieces start putting together, right? You know how you need to be disciplined. You know how your regular routine looks like. You know the kind of relationships you want in your life, because it's all driven around this idea of a life of purpose, a life we were designed to have.
So you decided as a kid that one day you were going to write a book. At what point did this purpose, crystallize in your head that you went, oh my gosh, that's it. That's what I want to write my book on. When did this happen? During COVID, when people were wandering the earth aimlessly and in fear? Tell us how that happened, how the book title happened.
Yeah, so the pandemic definitely amplified this, and it really helped me crystallize something that was already working in the back of my mind. On a little more personal note, two really close family members tried to take their life by suicide. And that is a moment, the deepest moment of feeling like your life doesn't have meaning. And then as a pastor, I deal with that. So I've dealt with it on a personal level. I've dealt with it on a professional level. I've gone through my own dark moments.
Sure.
This is something that I've been able to put farther behind me, but so I know what it feels like. So in all those layers, it's like, okay, what is the bottom line? What is something we're talking about? And it really is just, it's as simple as purpose. It's as simple as like, why am I here? Exactly. Sure. And so what I started doing is I started testing. I'm a tester. I'm all about trying things, testing things, optimizing the way I live my life. And whenever I can do that, I started to see, okay, I'm actually able to accomplish the things I'm set out to accomplish. I'm able to write a book. I mean, this is the product of the principles in the book, is the book itself.
Wow. That's pretty clever, Peyton.
Yeah. So it's just been a trial and error, personal experience all put together. And there you go.
And I think everybody in life at some point, Peyton, has said, what is my purpose? Why am I here?
Yeah.
I think whether your life is amazing, whether it's had dips, we all have dips. I think at some point we do question what our purpose is. What is our legacy? Why are we here? So I love that.
And I think that's embedded inside the human experience.
Yeah.
We all want to know, why am I here? And I think there's a way to find it. And hopefully this book will give you steps to do it.
So I think you already answered my next question, but who is your book tailored to?
Yeah, my book is tailored. It's actually tailored to two people, right? It's tailored towards the people that, like I mentioned before, don't have that tool in their hand, don't feel like they have purpose, and need that first step tailored towards them. The person that is not as obvious are the people like maybe you, maybe me, maybe a grandma, maybe a parent who knows somebody who doesn't feel like they have purpose.
Right.
But it's hard for somebody who doesn't struggle with these things to get into the mind of somebody who does.
Sure.
So this book gives you a character. You are in the mind of a character who's feeling certain things. So as an advocate, because most of us are advocates for people we care about, we get to understand on a different level what that person is experiencing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I cannot wait to get my hands on this book. So it's about a guy that it follows the journey of a young man who embarks on a transformative quest guided by how many life-changing principles?
5 life-changing principles, and then what I call the secret sauce at the end.
The secret sauce. I love secret sauce. So let's dive in on the 5 principles that this gentleman takes on in this book. So, we're going to talk about the 5, but you got to get the book to kind of dig into some of them. But we'll just briefly, you've got, so the first principle is, remember?
The 3 Ds.
The 3 Ds. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to tell you what those 3 Ds are, guys. You got to go buy the book. Okay. But that is your first principle. So that is the first thing this gentleman embarks on in the book. The second principle, there is no such thing as
overnight success.
Overnight success.
That's right.
I really want to read about that. I want to know what this gentleman finds out about that. We're going to skip over that. So principle 1, remember the 3 Ds. Principle number 2, there is no such thing as overnight success. I'm going to skip 3 because we're going to actually get back to that. The 4th principle, is Own the day. I love this.
Yeah, before the day owns you.
Before the day owns you.
That's
I
right.
love that. I love that. So we'll, read the book to find out about that. But we're actually going to dig in a little bit to your principle 3 and 5. Okay.
Yes.
So because you said, Cindy, these are kind of the ones that really you feel like resonate to a lot of people. Is that correct?
It's the most obvious ones. Yeah, it's the ones that people have at the forefront of their minds and are like, yeah, that is something that I need more of.
So number 3 principle is win the war. So WIN, win the war in your mind. So help me get into this character and what this is talking about on principle 3, win the war in your mind. What's going on in the mind? What kind of war are we talking about?
Yeah, well, this is something that you just have to probably look back at the past 24 hours of what kind of war was raging, right? Because we all have toxic thoughts. These are thoughts that take control over the way we think, the way we behave, the way we analyze certain situations. It could be as simple as like, you rear end somebody, which would be terrible, but you think, I'm an idiot. I should never have done that. I'm a bad driver. I can't do anything right. And you see how it spirals. And it usually is a spiral effect.
Yes.
And what you'll see is that your thoughts often impact your behavior. And so you have to win that war because it's a daily war.
And it is just you and your mind. It's nobody else.
Yeah.
It's all those things that you're telling yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. You influence yourself more than anybody else because you talk to yourself more than anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was like a volume on our heads and like you could actually hear? I mean,
so this isn't in my book, but that's an actual principle, is that we like to think of thoughts as light switches. So like I can turn my thoughts on, I can turn my thoughts off. But really what we should be thinking of them is as thermostats.
Or dimmers.
Yeah, or dimmers, exactly. It's not turning off the light, it is dimming it. It's decreasing the level of negative, so that we can actually control our behavior and how we interact in the world.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. So win the war in your mind. Definitely want to read more about that. So principle number 5 was the other one that you thought was people really need to hear is unearth your why buried under your fear. That is pretty heavy right there.
Yeah.
Unearth your why buried under your fear. Talk to me about this.
Well, I actually take an interesting approach in the book with this. So we're following this character, and then we're going to get a story in a story where we're actually given a fable given by a character. So because fear is such this abstract idea that has such concrete implications in our life of dealing through things like trauma or comparison, etc. Like there's all these things that generate fear. Now, one thing I want listeners to walk away from understanding in this is that fear, I give the illustration in the book, fear is always in the car. So imagine you're driving down the car and fear is a passenger in that car. Okay. There is no such thing as kicking fear out the door. It's always going to creep up.
It's seat belted in.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what you can control, right? Sometimes fear will be in the passenger seat. Sometimes fear will be stuffed in the trunk. What you have to control is to make sure fear never takes the wheel. And whenever you can do that...
Can we turn that into a country song? Never let fear take over the wheel.
Yeah, I have a mentor in my life who says everything is a country song. So yeah, it's like any circumstance is a country song.
Well, who sings the one Jesus Take the Wheel?
Yeah, that's Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood. I love her.
Yeah.
So Carrie needs to do this one on fear. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, and so when it comes to fear, one thing I want my readers to walk away from understanding, you can't eliminate it. In fact, you don't want to eliminate fear in your life. Fear is
say that. Because people don't normally say that.
You
Peyton.
don't want to eliminate fear in your life, right? We often associate fear to failure, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I'm scared to go up on stage. Failure, I can't public speak, right? And so we associate it. But fear is actually a reminder to us that we're doing something right? So fear is just an emotion. Just like anger, just like joy. And you wouldn't get upset at somebody for being joyful when something happy happened or anxious if they're nervous about something. It's whenever that fear takes the wheel that becomes a problem. So fear falls in the same category where fear is actually an indication that you are growing in your life. You're stretching, you're trying something new. And it's a constant reminder. And so what I say is that if you don't experience fear at some level, then you're not actually stretching your life to its fullest potential. That fear is a good thing as long as it has its proper place in the car.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's unearthing that. It's dealing with the trauma in the past and these things that we're scared of, recognizing that's not a bad thing. And the character in the book is going to face one of the ultimate levels of fear and navigating that, but he gets to apply those principles right away.
All right, so Peyton, I'm having a visual right now with the fear in my car, and I picture it kind of like the newlywed car with the cans, and it's in the can dragging on the back of the car. Like, I want it as far away as possible.
Yeah.
I know it's still good, and it's still a good indicator, but I want it as far away from my, my life as possible. So I pictured it in the tin can dragging behind the car.
Well, and you want all of these things is about putting things in their proper place, right? Knowing where you're going in direction, knowing where to put fear, knowing how to conquer your day, knowing how to control your thoughts. It's all about things in the right category and operating them the right way.
Well, for those that are the young'uns that might be listening, it's just like when they get on their phones and they go to their navigation app, you have to put an actual address. You can't just... like you said, you can't just tell it, I want to go north. Like, you have to put an address so it knows exactly, and it does give you options. Yep. You can go this route that might be a little bit quicker. Yep. And so I love what you're talking about is like you do need a plan. Yeah.
And what I hope readers will see is that by the end of this book, you are not going to necessarily have, some people may, but the goal is not to have a navigation of every turn that you need to take to your destination. But if I'm going to Disney World and I need to go the right way and I don't know which way to go, telling me to go north on 95 is getting me a lot closer than I would be if I didn't know how to get there. Sure. So hopefully this is at least pointing people in the right direction. Exactly.
So we're going to go to station break, but I stole this from your social media, Peyton. So here was the question: what will people get, from reading your book? And here's what you had on your social media. Okay, guys, so you buy A Story on Purpose from Peyton. This is what you're going to get. 1, stay disciplined on your journey to your goals, which you pretty much just said. Turn ordinary tasks into extraordinary achievements. Love that. Okay. Win the battle against the negativity lurking in your mind, right? Okay. Unlock the early morning cheat codes to conquer every day. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. And then finally, what you say your people are going to get out of reading your book is make fear work for you, not against you.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty packed.
Yeah, it's a lot in there.
It's not, guys, it's not a big, you could probably read it in one afternoon, right? So, come on, guys, this is packed with all kinds of good stuff. Can't wait.
I want the pages to matter. And so I put limited pages and I try to pack it with a punch, and hopefully you'll be able to take something because, like I said, it's written as a story. And so if anything, you may be able to relate to the character in there.
I love it. So the 5 principles he covers, remember the 3 Ds. There is no such thing as overnight success. Win the war in your mind, own the day before the day owns you, and finally unearth your why buried under your fear. Guys, no fear here. We are going to go to a station break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sturgis Lumber and Hardware has what you need for hurricane season. Lumber and plywood, straps, ties, and bolts, plus the service to find what you need. Be ready now. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware, US 1 Vero Beach. Be hurricane ready with Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. SturgisLumber.com.
If you dream of creating a home with furniture where you make life one long weekend, visit Sunshine Furniture now and save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington during the fall savings event. Bedroom, living, and dining room, home office, media, and occasional furniture that is inviting and comfortable, Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need to furnish your Florida home. We're also having a huge half-price fall sale on lots of other coastal furniture by Universal, Hooker, Riverside, Seawinds, and Capri, including big sales on patio furniture by Berlin Gardens, Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Kingsley Bait, and Windward. All pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price, and in-stock rugs are on sale too. Sunshine Furniture, store, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and be sure to shop our outlet store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Star Quality Airman here. Even though it's autumn, that evil duo of heat and humidity can overpower a lagging unit. If your air conditioner needs more help fighting the heat, your air conditioning superheroes are here to save the day. When you need us, we're there. Star Quality Air.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Come out this Friday and Saturday night at new times, 6 and 8 p.m. for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Warning, you may laugh until it hurts. Kickstart your evening with live entertainment, food, and drinks at Live in the Loop. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of nonstop laughs.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host. We want to thank Dale Sorensen Real Estate for making sure that we are on air every week. They are our exclusive sponsor. So Dale Sorensen Real Estate, thank you so much. They've been family owned since 1978, recognized as the top luxury real estate firm on Florida's East Coast. If you want to buy or sell your home, you can find them at sorensenrealestate.com. You can also phone them at 772-231-4712. Guys, we also want to thank Varietals. They take care of our beverages for our guests. And today I actually really love Hess, but I've never had their Chardonnay. So today we are having a Chardonnay. They always pick something, Peyton, that goes with our guest or our topic. And they really felt that this Chardonnay would go great with reading a good book. Okay, so
that's great.
You guys, you need to buy your Story on Purpose, and then get yourself a nice bottle of Hess from Varietals and More. It is a Chardonnay from Napa. It's less than, I think, $20 a bottle, so it's easy on the pocket. And get into your book with a great glass of wine from Varietals, and they're on Royal Palm Point. We are wrapping it up with Peyton Minzenmeyer, and he has written his first book, and it's called A Story on Purpose. Peyton, if people have been listening and they're like, well, shoot, I want to learn these principles, and I really want to, read this book, how can they get their hands on a copy?
Sure. So we're having an official book launch, actually right here in Vero on Downtown Dipper on 14th Avenue on October 13th. So it's the scariest day in the year because it's Friday the 13th in October.
I noticed that. I wrote down, I wonder what day of the week. I was like, Friday the 13th.
That's Friday the 13th, yeah. So purpose is something that's scary to a lot of people. And
all right,
writing
so we're
a book.
Getting rid of our first fear.
Exactly.
Friday the 13th.
So
I like that.
If you want ice cream, we're going to be selling books for $10 there. That's going to be $3 or $4 off the regular price on Amazon, and you get a scoop of ice cream. We're going to be giving out little special gifts if you buy a couple books, because this is a book we want for you to give to somebody else. So buy one, buy two, give to somebody else. But October 13th at Downtown Dipper is the official launch.
And can I say, you told me that you'll have 100, so I already took dibs on 2, guys. So he's down to 98 books, guys. And he is going to autograph. Got to have them autographed. Of course. So bring a marker. So it's going to be 6 p.m., I believe. Is that right? 6 to 9?
6 to 9 p.m., couple of hours. And like I said, I will be there to sign every single book. And then if you buy a book, you want to get it signed, I'm at the Vero Beach Church of Christ. You can come by anytime. I'll be happy to meet with you, talk to you. And we have other exciting stuff coming in this storyline. So you'll be able to follow it that way by just knowing me or following us online. All
right. So they either can come see you at the ice cream shop. And by the way, that's the Theater Plaza, right downtown in the Theater Plaza. Ice cream shop, Friday, October 13, 6 to 9 p.m., $10 a book. And if you miss that opportunity, you will be selling it on Amazon. It'll be a little more expensive.
Yep, few dollars more. I'm not going to break the bank.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you said less than $15 a book.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can find it on Amazon. You also have a website they can go to.
I do. So if you want to specifically go to the book, you can go to astorionpurpose.com and it will send you to the page for the book. That's also just my general website. So I write about this kind of content every week. I have a blog. I also have a newsletter that I send out every Thursday. That's 3-minute read, and it's taking this stuff and putting it into practice.
All right, guys, it's called A Story on Purpose, and your author is Peyton Minzenmeyer. He is amazing. Go get it, and let's live on purpose, guys. Make it a great day. Love you.